Hey now.
First today's special ever, I have to say. I know it's exciting, right?
Yes, it's been such a great day.
Okay, Vornado, many of you know the name. I actually have been lusting after getting a Vornado. And today is your day because, baby, it's getting hot out there and it's a lot of heat coming your way. Now, what's so wild is when I first saw you do this presentation last night, I thought, how is that thing spinning?
Yeah, where's the air coming from?
Where's the air coming from?
Yeah, just like 20 feet away, that's all.
20
full feet. And to say 20 feet, that's actually nothing because this baby travels 100 feet.
Can you imagine? So here's the thing. If you're a Vornado fan, we want to hear from you. And we'll show you that heat map because when we say, baby, it's getting hot outside and it's only going to get worse. But the big thing we have to be clear on is, yes, temperatures are already on the rise, but this is a 12 months out of the year experience. You know, the thing for me, Megan, is, and obviously as an electrical engineer, you understand the big science behind this, but this is not a fan. It really kind of changes the airflow in your home, which is something that we're not used to talking about, right?
Yeah, because typically we say we're hot, I need a fan.
Right.
A fan is just like such a universal standard word, and it just means I want air on me, I'm hot. Well, there's a difference in the way that we receive air. So with a fan, you get this direct air that when it hits you, you feel great, but when it doesn't hit you, like an oscillation, you're hot again. This is a ultra high performance fan known as an air circulator.
Right.
It's a completely different way of experiencing a cool and comfortable environment because what's happening with this beautiful circulator is that it's sending the air out to 100 feet across the room, but then it's going to bounce off the walls, bounce off the ceiling, and actually make its way back into the unit. So when we say a circulator, it's a huge circle is what's happening. It's moving this air, and it's constant. The air never stops moving. There's no stale, stagnant air. There's no chasing an oscillating fan to find where that air is in. No matter where you are, standing, sitting, laying on the ground, playing with animals or babies if you're me, it doesn't matter where in the room you are, every single person's gonna be comfortable because that's the way circulation works.
You know how I look at it? I know we've got a great animation is kind of like the Gulf Stream. And you know how they talk about the vortex or how the winds change and shift?
That's what this is. It's vortex technology. And this is technology that really is so amazing when it comes to aerodynamics with plane aviation, and that's how this company started.
That's how it began.
They actually created the Vornado fan, and you're seeing the vortex technology, that tornado effect. Vortex, tornado, Vornado, that's how we got our name. So by creating this spiral effect, and we'll talk about the details later, but basically the grill is offsetting that and making it elongated. That's how we're getting this long 100 feet of airflow that is going through your entire room, whatever room you choose to put it in.
Whatever room. And by the way, I know I keep mentioning this, but 12 months out of the year. So
So you're thinking, why do I need air, 12 months of air as far as cooling? Don't think of it just as cooling because this is moving whatever kind of air you want. So right now you have the air conditioning on, or maybe you're in a place that maybe still has some cool air outside and you're placing it by a window. This is circulating that air. Think about what happens in the wintertime. You have a space heater of some sort. The biggest issue with space heaters is that it only heats around the heater itself. You have this near the space heater. Now you're circulating the heat all around the room that you're in instead of heating the whole house, or right now, cooling the whole house. This is how we save money.
It is. Here's the thing.
It's amazing.
Remember, it is for this show, and I apologize, guys. Actually, I do...
We got a little party trick right now.
I might look. So for $15.99 on your credit card, you can get this at home. See, they need to make like an extended arm on the screen so I can see the flex pay. But I have wanted a Vornado, and this is no joke, for years and years and years and years. And the thing is, when I say it's like the Gulf Stream, but here's what's more important to me. I need new duct work in my master bedroom. My duct work was going to cost me over $10,000 because I basically have to redo my whole house.
That's a lot.
The problem with that is I'm still stuck, you know, with the same. It's still not circulating the air. So what this is going to do, I don't care if it's the heat during the winter or if it's the cool during the summer. It changes that airflow in your home. Now, certainly, I'm not going to make any dollar comparisons, but I think you can kind of do the math. I mean, sometimes the problem is not what your air conditioner is set on. The problem is that cool air is not getting where you need it to be.
You are 100% correct. So what happens in your home, whether you have poor circulation or you just have a lot of windows in your home, is that when the sun comes in, you're gonna get those hot spots in your home where maybe it's 80 degrees where the sun is coming in, but over by the stairs where there's air conditioning, an air duct, it's maybe 70 degrees. By circulating all the air in the room, you're blending the 80 with the 70 and you're creating a 75-degree environment in your home.
Wow.
So instead of cooling the hot spots, like trying to get that 80-degree area so comfortable, the other area might be too cold for you, but at least the hot area is comfortable. Don't do that anymore. Now do zone cooling, where you just make sure the room that you're in is cool enough and you're not wasting your air conditioning in all the other rooms that you're not in.
True.
And we don't have to put a dollar amount on, but we did do a study in Andover, Kansas, where we are based and where we make our product. And we found that in a 2,000 square foot home, you can save approximately $15 a month.
Whoa.
Because you're only doing the zone cooling. And at this price, that means after one season, you're paying for it. And with Vornado, you always have a 5-year warranty. So you have another 4.5 seasons that you know this is gonna take care of itself, and you're not gonna have to go shopping and researching a new circulator, because this bad boy is gonna last and last.
It's so true. So by the way, you just choose the black or the white. Hold at the end of the call. We'd love to meet and greet you.
And the white's brand new. I'm gonna have you come over here because I don't want to smoke you out.
Look, we do one because I did my
You're like a fashion model right now. Yes.
I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth.
There you go, girl. Get it. So you saw Shannon getting blown away, but now we're gonna add a little smoke to it.
All right.
So right now we're sending the smoke all the way to the other side of the studio, but you can see with this great chrome bar the way that I'm able to tilt it all the way up. So if I want to send this up the stairs, if I want to send it, sit on the floor and send it in diagonally across the room, I have the ability to do that. And also notice there's a ton of smoke coming out right now.
There is.
You and I are not experiencing any of it. That's because this right here, it's called an inlet accelerator. It is taking the max amount of air behind the unit and sucking it in for the max amount of output, which means you're getting all of that air.
You are. And you know what? I almost defy you to not love this. It's so funny. When Megan and Suzanne launched this last night, we do Facebook Live every night at midnight, of course. And people were saying, I told Megan, they're keeping their fan longer than they keep their man. Where people are using this literally for decades to come. And I know we have to kind of break you out of your wheelhouse. You cannot think of this like a fan. It is changing the circulation in your home. It is changing the airflow in your home. So if you got it for comfort, if you got it for convenience, if you got it basically just to save a buck or two, you know, Megan said with that study that they did an average of $15, and that's if you're only using it in one room. And quite frankly, for me, because I have to lower my air conditioning so much to even try to get any cooling air in my master bedroom, I'm confident I will save more than that because I'm getting one, and chances are you are too. Of course, we'd love to say hi to you. So Megan, when we talk about the old technology, this is gonna look, and talk about old, we've all got one of these at home.
Well, you see a box fan and you think it's so big. We always think bigger is better. Like something this big, oh, the propeller is so wide. This is gonna do so much for us. Well, I'm gonna explain to you why it's not working for us. But first I'm gonna show you that my smaller footprint, Vornado 660, not only is sending great airflow, but it actually has the ability to completely turn on my power over here.
Okay, so
when this is not plugged in. It is not plugged in, but you can see that it's moving at full speed because it was not moving at all before.
So those blades are being moved by the Vortex.
Correct. By that Vortex technology. Again, it is not plugged in, and this is a big unit. So if you're wondering, well, gosh, I kind of want to know how fast it's going. Well, I got this nifty little guy called an anemometer. I just like saying anemometer, that can tell me how fast this is moving. So I'm going to point this a little bit more toward you guys. Get this right in front. 11.4, 10.9, 11.2 miles per hour. So I know if you're driving a car, maybe 11 miles per hour doesn't sound very fast, but can you run 11 miles per hour? That's a lot of wind that is going into your room. And I want you to think about when you have direct air, when you have an oscillating fan. Yes, I know, when it's on top of you, it feels great because the whole reason why you turned your fan on is because you're hot. So when it hits you, you're like, oh, that feels so cool. So if I stand here and I wait, well, my fan is on right now. Someone over here is getting cool, and I am waiting, and I am waiting, and I am waiting, and nothing is happening because it hasn't gotten to me yet. I am still waiting to be cooled off. Oh, here it comes. And now I'm gonna be cool for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds,
Yeah.
and that's because it stops over on this end. You have to wait for it to get to you.
You do.
With whole room air circulation, the air in your room never stops flowing.
Never.
So when you think about this, with direct airflow, you have no choice but to have it on you.
Right.
So that's when your eyes get dried out, your mouth get dried out. If you're trying to read a book, your book pages are flying away. You don't need to put this directly on you.
You don't.
You only need it in the room because you already know it's going to move all the air, and whether you're sitting, standing, laying on the ground,
for sure,
everyone's going to be comfortable.
And let me just point out, both of the old technologies that Megan described, which arguably you're spending $79 for, you know, give or take, depending on where you're shopping, neither one of those are solving the problem.
No,
it's like a Band-Aid.
Yep.
I mean, truly, because it is not changing the airflow in your home. So it's not changing the complexion of the air in that room, if you will.
Right.
So I don't care if you're in a kitchen and you're cooking and you know hot air rises, and if you've got that one fan blowing on you, it's really not doing the kitchen any good. This is doing your entire room. It's doing your entire family. It is changing the complexion, the velocity, and the movement of the air in your home. And by the way, not just the movement of the cool air in the summer months, but the movement of the warm air in the winter months. So by the time you look at it, and I know on average you were saying a $15 savings, but I really want to commend and challenge you if you do it for your pocketbook only, but if you do it for just your comfort standpoint. Isn't it worth that 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee to get this at home and say, you know what, I got that one room where the air just seems stale, right?
There's
where the air
always
just
a room
seems
where there's poor
dead.
circulation.
Absolutely. I heard you talking earlier, like as an example, my master bedroom, that's the one where I really should have thousands of dollars worth of new ductwork done, but you know, financially, let's be honest, you know, I don't want to do anybody, whoever's going to buy my house the favors. The thing for me is, even that ductwork is not going to solve the problem. But there are a couple, I have a very large bay window or windows where the sun comes up. So let's say I put this in that pocket that is the problematic pocket, the place where the sun is coming in through the windows, the place where the heat seems to accumulate. You can actually kind of change that air circulation even from those problem areas.
It doesn't matter where in the room that you're going to go ahead and place the fan air circulator, because it's going to move all the air in that room. So whether you have it by the window or you have it closer to the air duct, it doesn't matter. Where with a standard fan, wherever you put it, it's only taking the air from that spot. So if you had it near the window, you'd be blowing hot air on you.
Yes.
Where this, it doesn't matter where in the room. So you notice it's a fairly small footprint considering how much power it has.
For sure.
But it actually has a very beautiful modern kind of look.
Does.
So if you have a spot that you think matches your decor and you want it to go in that area, that's totally fine, because no matter what, it's going to move all the air in the room.
I just want to piggyback on one point that Megan just made. If you have a regular fan, put it in that hot spot, the only thing you're accomplishing is blowing that hot air in your room.
This is something we actually never brought up until today when a Facebook Live person asked us, does a fan actually cool you off because it cools the air inside? And the answer is no. No fan actually has a cooling, unless it's specific to that, which is very, very rare and very expensive. It does not actually cool the air inside the unit. It's just a grill and then the blade and then another grill. There's not an additional cooling motor in there. What's happening is when you're sweaty, you're hot, and you want the air on you, you have water beadlets on your skin. And when the air comes to you, it moves the water beadlets. That gives you the sensation of being cooled off. So with this, by moving all the air in the room constantly, you're moving all that water beadlet nonstop. Where if an oscillation like you're seeing, only when that air is directed on you are you moving those water beadlets. As soon as it's off you, that's when you go, oh, I'm so hot again. And you either start chasing the oscillating fan, or you give up and just fall on the ground. If you're me, I'm like, I'm done with this.
It's true.
But if you have full room air circulation, you see those 3 dots? Those are 3 different people in 3 different places in the room. Everybody's cool because that circle of air that's constantly happening. As long as this unit is on, it doesn't stop providing for you. And depending on what size your room is, you have options. So if I spin this around, of course you turn it on, but now you have 4 settings. You have the low, medium, high, and the turbo speed. Of course, the bigger the room, the more air that you want.
Makes sense.
So if you have a very large room, you're going to put it on turbo. But again, a large room, you're talking about, it has the ability to move 100 feet, has the ability to hit for high ceilings. And of course, if you wanted to direct this to go upstairs, so you have maybe it's cooler downstairs, you want to leave the air conditioning off upstairs, you can direct the cool air upstairs because heat always rises.
You just gave me a light bulb moment because when I go up my stairs, it's so funny. It's like this wall of heat.
It just hits you.
It just hits me.
Yes, because it always rises. And that's great when you talk about the winter months and you want to be warm, but right now that's not ideal. So when we look at this, there are 4 things that separate a fan from an air circulator. And those 4 things are very important. If you notice, this kind of looks like an airplane engine. Well, that's where our technology came from. What we have going on, this piece right here, you're not going to find on a fan. That's an inlet accelerator. What this does is it takes the maximum amount of air from behind it and pushes it forward. You're not going to find a blade like this. This might be small, but it's mighty. We saw the box fan. It's a big propeller. It's also flimsy. It's also flat. It is not contoured. It doesn't have this great ability to scoop and churn the air at a high capacity. This bad boy does. From there, it's going to push it to this piece. This is funneling it into that tornado shape.
Gotcha.
Just like it would with an airplane to get an airplane off the ground, this is creating that tornado effect. And then the kicker is, this is such a beautiful grill. It's actually called an air tensity grill. Ooh. It looks like it's by design, like, oh, let's make something stylish someone like in their home. Yeah. Well, they did that, but this has engineering purposes. The way this spirals, it is actually in the opposite direction of that tornado. Oh. So that spiral that's really, really tight that it's creating, this makes it go in the opposite direction, which elongates the tornado, which is how we get that long 100 feet. There's so much going on. Those 4 things are not in any single fan. That's why we can't call this a fan.
And you know,
this is not a fan. It is a whole room air circulator.
It's a whole room air circulator. In fact, you know what? I wish that it says whole room vortex, but if you don't know what I wish it said whole room circulator, because that's really what it is. The other thing about this is, and we say this a lot with Joy Mangano and the huggable hangers, imitation might be a great form of flattery, but if you have something in your house that looks like this, unless it has, you know where I'm going with this.
I do.
Because I'm guilty. I bought somebody who made their fan, because basically it was a fan, they made it try to look like this. And it was kind of like bait and switch. And I got to tell you, I'm ticked off because I spent more than $79.95 and I thought, oh, I'm getting that Vornado technology, et cetera, et cetera. No, you're not. Unless you're getting the Vornado, which singularly, they are the first and last name. They're the only company really doing this. They kind of originated this technology. It's funny, when I first saw the Vornado design, I actually thought of Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know what I mean? With the plane scene. And so you really, you're getting kind of that jet engine or propulsion of air technology. And Jeff, I don't know if it's possible to even shoot. I'm getting a little blown away, not my hair, but by the fact the box fan is still being powered, unplugged. Perfect, thank you. That is not plugged in. No. That's the Vortex nature that is powering those blades. And remember, this is our last show. So we've got the final hour, or final airing coming up next hour. We have a little over 1,000 left of the white, which is brand new. Yeah, brand new color for today, and it's definitely, from what I'm hearing, is the most popular, but it's a beautiful unit, and I can see why. It is, for sure. Okay, now what's going on? Are you like David Copperfield? Right? It's just this is our magic trick. You know, I'm no your, strings, I promise you. Look, we can take the balloon off, hide it behind our back. This is true magic, folks. Okay, there is a method to this madness, though. What is this? This is showing the Vortex technology. Perfect. You can see that the balloon is spinning. Yeah. It's going around because it's following the spiral of the Vortex technology. I can turn this up a notch, and it's immediately going to fly out of view. Yeah. This is only on medium. We tried doing it on high, and it went, through the rafters. So we can only do it so far, but this is just showing how it's creating this tunnel of air. It's not just blowing up and falling over because it can't go very high. Right.
it can go all the way to the ceiling, and it's gonna stay in this tunnel until the air hits the ceiling and bounces off.
Yes.
So it's gonna stay in this vortex, it's gonna stay in the tornado. And I love the history behind this fan because it does come from plane aviation.
It does.
In the 1920s, the engineers were actually working on how to make an airplane get off the ground faster and go further. They came up with Vortex technology, which is really this cone shape right here. And they applied that to the planes, and they're called the Vornado planes, and they fought in World War II. So behind the scenes, these engineers were building this air circulator because they were excited to put something like this on the market, but they couldn't actually do it yet because they were too busy fixing the fighter planes to make sure they could continue to defend our country. So it didn't get to debut till 1945. So we're talking about 70 plus years of Vortex technology that debuted specifically with Vornado. They've been doing this for so long. It came from the beautiful minds of an engineer, and that's why they can give you that 5-year warranty.
They can.
Because they believe in their product and they have proof after all these years that they continually deliver.
Do you know what? Listen, I don't care whether you run hot or whether you run cold, whether you have an apartment, efficiency, assisted living, studio apartment, dormitory, whatever you have, you can benefit from this. I don't care if it's that one warm room or that one room where the air just seems stale. Maybe you don't have central air conditioning, or maybe you just want to really see just how much better you can feel. And the great thing about this is, with that powerful, small but mighty platform, you can easily move this from room to room. I was going to get one.
It's only 7 pounds.
It's only 7 pounds. So I'm actually thinking about getting 2 of these because in my, I don't care what I do to that upstairs, you know, floor, I cannot ever get it cool enough. And you know, I have a very expensive air conditioning system. It's not the AC unit. It's the airflow in the home. Right. So that's why if I know Megan's doing such a great job in terms of the education. If there's one thing we really want to resonate is the problem is not the power of your AC. The problem is not the BTU. The problem may to a degree be your ductwork in your home. But tonight, for a little over $15, we can change the complexion of the airflow in your home. We can change the way that air, hot or cold, is being moved throughout your home, and depending on where you place this.
I love that you get it.
Yes,
like
I love it.
It's so true. It doesn't have to do about your AC unit, whether you have one or you don't. If you have windows in your home, there's a really good chance that you still are going to have those hot pockets and the cool buckets.
Yeah.
And so by having your Vornado fan in your home, you're mixing those spots to get that overall more comfortable experience. Now, this is our large unit. It's a customer pick. It has fantastic reviews, whether it's from Texas, Arizona, Maine. It doesn't matter if it's a cool or hot state. People use this all year round.
They do.
So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy it at that price. I like my $25 fan, blah, 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 blah. Well, that fan is not going to help you in the other months. This is going to help you all year round.
It will, and you know what? With a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, we have roughly the last 1,000 of these to go around. It is the only scheduled today's special for the entire year for Vornado.
And first one ever.
And first one ever.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, and no one else is doing this price. And I know I said it before, and I'm not being disrespectful of the copycats, but I bought a fan, and guys, it was just a fan from another company that was trying to duplicate this. But Megan, there's that wind.
Hey, your average fan can only get 2 to 8 miles per hour. We just got 11. Telling you people.
Exactly.
Air circulation's where it's at. Don't oscillate, circulate.
Ooh, I like
that.
All right, Megan will be back with the last show in just a few minutes. Debbie Meyer is next.